It's me, it's Ivy Wells here to present to you my Book Boss Overdreamer in 60 Days or Less Masterclass. Today, we are going to talk about the 8 steps that it will take for you to create your business. Not just any business, a money-making business. So let's get down to it. Welcome to Book Boss Overdreamer by none other than me, Ivy Wells. I am the creator and the CEO of The Millionaire Factory, where I am an agent of change that will encourage you, help you, drag you along the way if I have to, but make sure that you're turning your dreams into not just a reality, but into a money-making business. Because we all know that you deserve wealth through your passion. Let's get started. So today, we're going to talk about a little bit about how I got started. So back in 2017, I was promoted and moved to relocate to Los Angeles. In that moment, I began working with the top 10% of my company's revenue. Their clients that built their revenue. And working in that arena opened me up to people that I never in a million years thought I would sit in a room with. And I was able to sit at the feet of so many people that were bringing in 7 figures or more. And I was helping them to maintain that. How, you ask? Really just listening to how they maneuver, what they're comfortable with selling, how they're comfortable with selling, and where their sweet spots were, and really enhancing that. So I came up with different strategies to help them move a little bit further within their business or maintain their current success. Now, with that being said, I was sitting and talking to a broker one day, and they said, Ivy, do you realize you just helped me sell a $640 million building? Do you know what your return on that could have been? Your commission could have been like, I would have given you 0.5%, even 0.5% on 640. Yeah, do the math and you'll laugh with me too. When they said to me back in 2018, I immediately said to myself, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so because y'all, in 2018, after hearing that, I decided, you know what? You're right. I have an amazing skill at developing businesses, as well as scaling businesses, as well as creating efficiency in businesses. And it took a 7-figure income human being to bring me to that reality because, unfortunately, a lot of times we have to unlearn things that we learned. And that's what this course is going to be all about, is to learn some new things and to also unlearn things that have been told to you for many, many years about, one, always having to work for someone to build wealth. And that's not the case. You can pursue your passion and have a full-time job at the same time. Or you can decide that one day you want to build up your passion to allow you to be able to pursue that full-time. That's what I did, and that's why it's 2019, and I dubbed thee a booked boss. So let's jump into things here. We're going to talk about communication to your clients and vendors, how to gain and register your business and gain an EIN. What is the importance of business banking? How to refine your product or service? Because a lot of times people have an idea, but they don't actually know what is the product or service that they're going to serve to their community. What is going to be your main business process? How will clients purchase? What will be your customer service? And also, how will you get it to them? Next, we're going to talk about developing your strategy and how to implement that. And then just simple things like your website and graphic basics. And then last but not least, most importantly, a sales funnel, why it's important and how you're going to use it to actually push forward in your business. So let's talk about the most important thing when it comes to business, and that's your mindset. Look, y'all, all minds matter, okay? Whether you believe that you can do it, whether you believe that you can't do it, or whether you're somewhere in the middle where you know you can do it, you're just not sure how to get there. Again, that's why I'm here for you guys. So let's deep dive into mindset. So talking about mindset, we're going to pull in things such as accountability, how important your tongue is, meaning the things that you say out of your mouth, having patience when building your business, and WTF. No, it doesn't stand for what the F. It stands for work till finish. And as this quote says in the corner, all things are difficult before they are easy. So we're going to talk about training your mind to where it may feel difficult. Your mind may be exacerbated, and so maybe your body. However, that is where endurance training comes in at. You push, you push, you push until the point where you feel yourself going from it taking you an hour to ship out each shipment to you're getting it done in 60 seconds. All right, next, accountability. What does this look like? A lot of entrepreneurs fall short in this arena because they think that they have to hold themselves accountable. However, no, the best way to be accountable is to have people around you that will help you hold yourself accountable. Okay? You should have some type of what I call circle of influence to be able to be there to help you hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to all your goals and aspirations. Now, it's always been said, I don't know who created the phrase circle of influence, but this is why I deem it to actually be a full circle. Check this out. So if you notice, it says that you need a mentor on one side and mentees on the other side with your peer alignment circling you in the middle. Well, when you have a mentor, that's someone that can help sustain and pull you up, right? When you have a mentee, that's someone that you're looking down to pull up. So you're kind of going diagonally, if you see my arms, in a way that no matter what, there is a push or pull of force that's helping you move in some type of direction. A lot of times people don't realize that by having mentees and pulling people up, that is actually allowing you to refocus on the basics at all times of where and of how and why you got to the rung on the ladder that you're currently standing on. Then to have a mentor, they're going to help you, guide you through things to help you avoid some of the hardships that they went through so that you can figure things out a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, and make your steps a little lighter. Think about it, guys. If it wasn't for things that have happened in history, where would we be today? I mean, something as simple as fire brought us all the way to technology. Is that a reach? Is that a stretch? No, it's not. Because were it not for the person that found or figured out or created fire, how would we be able to have the torches, the little baby torches that are different things that actually create a lot of the casings and products and metals to bend the alloy and different things that's needed to actually build the technology. So yes, every little thing that has happened before us is always here to make us greater. And that's why having a circle of influence and that accountability will help you out. So let me tell you where you can find your peer alignment. So your peer alignment are people who are around you that have not exactly met the goals that you're looking to aspire to reach, but they are treading right along with you to get to where you want to be. And I have found my peer alignment through different group me chats, through Facebook groups, through meetups. If you guys are unfamiliar with things such as meetup.com, as well as Instagram hashtags, so I often look at Instagram hashtags. Now they have allowed us to follow them. And I come across people who are doing the same things that I am, specifically out here in California, because I want to meet more people face to face. I think it's very important to have that face-to-face human interaction. So I do reach out to a lot of people, get some connections with them and talk to them, take them out, see what's going on, see what hardships they have, see how I can be a disciple to help them. And then, see if there's anything that they can necessarily help me with. But that is your circle of influence that is going to assist you with the accountability of being an entrepreneur. That helps to check your mindset, because there are a lot of times we suffer from imposter syndrome and we say to ourselves, yeah, this is not for me. I changed my mind. I don't think I want to be an entrepreneur anymore. But when you have a mentor, you have mentees, you have peer alignment, they can get you right back on that path, back on that horse, and they're looking at you like, okay, I'm gonna let you have this moment, but in about 120 seconds, I need you to snap out of it and get it together. Yes, that is what real accountability and your circle of influence actually will look like. Next, we're going to talk about the power of your tongue. So how important the things are that you say, right? So take a look at this little diagram, and y'all know I'm super, super corny. So yes, it says to say or not to say. That is the question. So when you are saying things like, I'm not good at this, oh, I give up, it's good enough, I'm just done with it, it'll be whatever. Rephrase those things to say things like, what am I missing? Or I'll use a different strategy to try before I give up. Is this really my best before I say it's enough? So we want to make sure that we're always speaking in positive affirmations towards ourselves, towards our business, and towards other people, so we can regain that energy and get it back. Because as the quote to the right says, is that the things that you speak will manifest into reality. Okay, so spoken thoughts will manifest into reality. So anything that you're thinking and then you bring them out of your mouth, that's going to be what's your reality, because that's where your energy is going. Okay, guys? So let's always keep some positive energy so we can keep that going. Next is having patience. Now, the relationship to patience and a routine, I want you to just hear me out and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, in order to gain patience, you have to see some type of result or change. And in order to actually track or have key performance indicators, KPIs, you have to have something that you're measuring it against. And the only way you can reach some type of basis of measurement is when things are the same at all times, right? So being consistent, which means having a routine. Well, the only way I can really, really say I know I'm getting better at something is when I keep doing it over and over and over. And my key performance indicator would be the amount of time that it takes me to get it done. When that time begins to reduce, then I will say to myself, Ivy, girl, you have succeeded in doing this perfectly, or you have succeeded in knowing what you're doing, okay? Now, this is a routine. It doesn't have to be yours. You can YouTube, Google, any type of routine that will best fit you and your time availability. So in the mornings, I wake up, I pray, I meditate, I talk to God, and I really say, I affirm the things that I want out of my business every single day, the same overall arching goal. And I make sure that on my to-do list, there is one thing that will help me get there, at least one, if not many, okay? Next, I talk about the things I'm grateful for, because that just warms my heart and it automatically puts me into an emotionally satisfying and good place, because I am spitting out the things from my mind, out of my mouth, and manifesting the good. Okay, next are these affirmations. So my affirmations that I always say are clarity, peace, and courage, simply because they go with any scenario. So I can say, I am seeking clarity about a situation that I would like the courage to be able to speak about, or speak to a person about, concerning the situation. And I would like to reside peace over the situation as we're conversing to gain a better understanding with one another. So clarity, peace, and courage are three things that I use for myself personally that can be remedied and thrown into any situation to get some type of, I call it my CPC, to get my CPC, right? And then I have a schedule. I used to get up, I need to update this, guys, because I used to get up at 5:30 every morning, but lately it's been about 6:30, only because I am going to bed later. And there are just things that, because of time, has to get done in that later hour. And also because I'm on the East Coast. I mean, I'm on the West Coast, and a lot of my clients are on the East Coast. So when talking to them, I am usually up a little bit later, having to like get other things done because I've talked to them earlier in the day. So I do adjust my schedule due to whatever I need to. But this says Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's because we have to have patience with ourselves and our business to understand that, yes, you can put something out there or you can start building your business, but you have to be patient and understand this, that it's not going to all come at once. It is going to come over time. And when it comes over time, you will then have something to gauge against, because you're going to say, I remember when I was seeking for this particular type of clarity or understanding, and now I have it. So you will be able to see that change in things once you establish a routine, because of the consistency you're committing to your business and to yourself. Because self-help is, I mean, your mindset and clarity, and it's more important to take care of you than it is always your business. Let's keep that 100% all the time. Next is my WTF. So work till finish. This is something I had to push myself, because there are times when I didn't really know how to complete a to-do list, right? And I know this sounds crazy, but you have to work for the good and not for the detriment. And that means that we sometimes like get our good pen out, our paper, and we're writing this to-do list. And on this to-do list are many, many things. Well, there's a difference between a task and a project. A project is something that has multiple tasks to required to complete that project. So multiple tasks or projects are things like, for instance, I can say, I want to paint my house. That's a project, okay? Because the tasks behind that are, I need to go choose a paint color. I need to purchase the paint. I need to purchase primer. I need to purchase tape to tape around the crown molding. I need to purchase brushes. All these little baby things that need to get done before I actually come in and paint. Then I gotta lay the tape, lay the furniture, move it, all these things. Those are tasks. The overall arching goal is to paint. Once the paint gets completed, then you can then cross that off your list. But think about all the things that were not satisfying to you yet because you didn't put them on your list to cross them off, and you feel like you're not getting things done. So when you feel this unaccomplishment of not getting things done on your to-do list, you begin to procrastinate because you think of all the other things that have to get done just to cross that one thing off, or you push it to the end of the list. So I'm here to help you figure out and learn how to work till finished, because continuous work is greater than procrastination. Let's check it out. So while working in banking, I was like a PM, a project manager, where I was able to assist the business and the developers with completing like a project, right? And so they would use the phrase often, go live. Like, what was your go live date? So what was the date that this actual project was going to be live in our system of record? So I took that phrase and I brought it to life in my business, because that phrase is what actually helped me to learn how to, one, work till finish, and two, create better to-do lists. This is what I came up with. So what I do with my students when I'm working with them one-on-one, a lot of times people already have a business. It's actually working very well. It's efficient. They have what they need for their basics. But then they come to me to help assist them bake out their projects that they want to launch a new product, to have an event, anything that you can possibly think of, right? So when we get together, we create this go live timeline. So I'm going to show you what I did to create this course and how I did it with my go live timeline. So my fake go live date was to have this finished by March 12th, 2019. And this is how or what I did to make sure that it was done. So on 217, I created my outline. So that's one task, right? Then on 219, I created the notes for sections 1 through 5 of the outline. And then 221, I created the slides for sections 1 through 5. So as you can see, I broke down each task on days for the amount of time that I knew I had to spend. So first things first, you ask yourself, okay, so on Mondays, what do I have to do? Where can I fit time in to work onto my business? On Tuesdays, you go through your whole week, Sunday through Sunday, and figure that out. Now, once you figure out how much time, then you assign a task to that time. So if you know you have 1 hour, don't give yourself something to do that you know is going to take you 4 hours to do. Give yourself something that you know is going to take you probably 40 minutes to do, because for whatever reason, this is just me speaking for myself, but if it's a 40-minute task, it might take me 20 minutes to actually start the task, meaning there might be some little things I need to like get done up, get ramped up to do to even actually start working on it, okay? So think about it in that way when you're filling out this Go Live timeline. Again, this is something that I do assist my clients with, because it makes working through projects so much easier when you're baking out these timelines. Next, we're going to talk about names, okay? The importance of names, because you cannot have a business without a name unless you call it no name. And I'm pretty sure somebody out there is wild enough to just be like, right now, my business is no name, and I'm still put it out there until I figure out a name, and we just gonna all love on no name. Completely fine. It doesn't even matter. But I'll show you some easy ways to help you get a name. So, believe it or not, people still have naming conventions for their business. How is that even possible, and why? Well, because like I said, your name is the most important thing about your business. So a lot of different companies have put together name generators. Name generators actually assist you with coming up with names. So we have things such as the Visual Thesaurus, Shopify Name Generator, Name Mesh, Nomium, and Eat My Words. They basically all of them work under the same premise. You plug in keynote words that you're looking to use in your company name, and then they come up with like literally a web, like this word board of just different names and variations of those words that you plugged in. So if you see at the very bottom of this side, it says, click the words to go to their website. When you receive this, y'all, I can't talk. When you receive this webinar, the actual slides, they are clickable, so you can go to their website and actually get their information. Yes, I did that for you guys because I love y'all. Yeah. So once you get this download, you will be able to go click, do what you need to do, and get your name on the ground. Because you need that name to be Blue Magic. So here are 9 helpful tips to becoming Blue Magic. And by the way, guys, if you don't know that movie reference, email me and we'll talk about it, because I need y'all to know what this means. Okay, so listen, number 1, avoid hard to spell names. And we all know why that's important, because usually your name is a part of what? Your email address, your website. And if it's hard to spell, it's really going to be hard for people to get to your website. Next, don't limit your scale. So for instance, I use this all the time as an example. If I sell bows, like little hair bows for little girls, they're handmade, I create them. My name could be Bow Crazy, right? But what if, like, 2 months later down the road, someone says, can you put that bow onto a headband? Because my baby doesn't have that much hair, but I love your bows. Are you going to tell them no? No. You're going to run to the nearest store, or shop online and find some really cute headbands, attach your bow to it, and ship it on very happy to your first headband bow customer. Next, you're going to offer this online just to see if it actually moves. And at this point, you're calling yourself Bow Crazy. But what if somebody is looking for a really cute headband and they're scrolling through Instagram or Googling, whatever, the name of your company is Bow Crazy. They're not going to think you sell headbands. So if you didn't have the name Bow Crazy and maybe your name was Accessor Crazy for all accessories, did you see what I did there? That's going to definitely put you in the way of making sure that people know you don't just make bows, but you make all accessories from scratch, because that's how we like it. Next, flat out just search the internet. Google the name that you love absolutely and see what pops up and see what comes out there. Now, if it's a name that's not in your industry, I say go for it. You may have a little hard time getting it trademarked if it's already trademarked. However, if it's not something, I'm not going to say never get anything trademarked, but I think that you should always trademark things. But I know the coin is real different for a lot of people because it's shady right now, my coin, all right? But one thing you can definitely do and make sure of is that you can search the internet. You can also search the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, to see if there are any trademarks as well. Because you don't want to enter into a name where there are already trademarks, because someone could easily say you're infringing upon their trademark rights. Okay, so next, check out for your domain, because you don't want to be like your company name is Bow Crazy. And I know .coms are they're popular, but there are other things that you can use, right? Such as .xyz, which is actually what I have and I love. You can do anything. So even if someone has your domain, it's not the end of the world, although it is a little bit better to have the .com simply because that's what people automatically seek out, okay? Next is going to be word association. So things like, you don't want to be in the bow business, and those are mostly worn on little girls, and you have like the name of one of your bows as like a predatory name, because, well, the association with that word may be associated with like a former predator or something scandalous that has happened. You don't want to bring that type of attention or assimilation. Someone is thinking about that bad instance and pairing it with your company. That ain't the love we want. Okay, guys? So next thing is the Secretary of the State. So you can check your Secretary of State website to see if that business name has already been registered. This is so very important, okay? Because you don't want to get online and start branding yourself as Bow Crazy and it's already gone. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. Next, you also want it to be really catchy, like Bow Crazy, because who doesn't love bows? Yeah, get out of here. That's the devil's work. We don't believe in that. Okay. And then last but not least, you always want it to evoke some type of positive emotion. I put happiness there, but it could be anything. It could evoke excitement. It could evoke true, utter joy. Okay. Everlasting joy. I just put happiness because it's a positive word, but anything positive it could evoke. So now let's talk about your goals. If you don't have goals, you don't have a business. You have a hobby, okay? And I said it here first. You caught it, yes, on the Books Boss Over Dreamer webinar here. If you don't have goals for your business, I am saying this out loud and again, it is solely just a hobby. You need goals. So let's talk about how to set goals. So goal setting can be done. I love the acronym SMART, but paired with SMART is something called your unit of measure, or like I've said previously, your KPIs, your key performance indicators. And let's break this down. So a SMART goal is something that's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant and it's timely. I know you guys can read. I'm not shading you by reading that out, but I just wanted to say it to kind of get you into the groove of what it is. So my goal could be, I want to make $100,000 in my business this year. Okay. So that's very specific down to the dollar amount and when. It's measurable because I can track either quarterly, monthly, or daily, because we don't like counting the coins. And it's achievable. It's something that can actually happen based on the products that I serve to people. And then it's relevant because who has a business that ain't making money? If they do, send them to me. I'll help them. And it's timely because I want to do it by the end of the year. Now, what is my unit of measure that will equal to my success? My unit of measure can just as well be, the money. So as I see the money coming in, I know that little by little, I'm hitting those targets to be able to make that $100,000 in my business. Make sense? I'm sure it does. If not, guys, please feel free to hit me. All of my contact information will be at the end of this webinar. Last but not least, in this subsection, this pre-section, is going to be all business plans matter. Listen, guys, a lot of times people think it's so cliche to have a business plan, or it's so cliche. Girl, I just have an online boutique. What do I need a business plan for? Because again, if you don't have goals, you have a hobby, not a business. All right. Having a business plan will allow you to stay consistent and figure out what it is that you're actually doing. What is your actual business? Because as you bake out the business plan and answer these 7 questions, you will realize that what you thought might be your product or your service is not actually what you're doing. For instance, look at McDonald's. You think their business is selling some good potatoes? Now, McDonald's is in the business of land, real estate, landscape. Like that's literally their business. Most of what their wealth comes from is actually the real estate that these McDonald's are either sitting on or that they own. Okay. Now, this is another good example that I give. Shout out to Michaela for the Side Hustle Pro podcast. I learned so much from you, girl. If you ever come across this, I love you. So I was listening to her podcast and she was interviewing the creator of Charleston Gourmet Burgers. And they were talking about how, they started this burger company and they were like showing up at different events throughout Charleston. Then they started traveling and they were selling like their burgers. And people were just like coming from all over the world just to visit Charleston. But they were like, oh, this looks like good food. I'm going to have this burger. And then they became known for their burgers, right? So then with that being said, people were like messaging them, calling them, can you ship me, like freeze and ship me some burgers to like Timbuktu, Arkansas somewhere? Mind you, they're in Charleston. People from like even California were like, send me a burger. And so they were trying to figure all that out when they realized that, their business was not the burger itself. Their business was the marinade that goes into the burger. Now, isn't it easier to package marinade instead of dry freezing a burger? Yeah, 100% easier. When they made that realization, they came to that realization, they were then able to stop just altogether looking for the hardest thing in the world to do, which at that time, the owner, she was explaining how she knew nothing about co-packers. She knew nothing about food processing and all of this and food sciences that you need. And they realized like, wait, I could just put this in a bottle and then send that. Like that will work so fine. So this is why a business plan is important, because you need to be able to hone in on what your actual product or service is. Because sometimes it just gets a little blurry. So let's talk about this. So these are your 7 simple steps to a business plan. What is your why? Okay. Knowing your why you're starting your business, what is the solution that you're starting, that you're actually the problem, I'm sorry. What is the problem that you're resolving in the marketplace for your business? So knowing your why is like 80% of your business plan. Because when you hold true and understand your why, everything else will fall through. Next, you need to know who your competitors are and study them. Yes, market research is the best thing you can do to set yourself apart from other businesses. So if you know that in this world of hair bows, that there are like 18,000 other people that make hair bows from scratch, but why are your hair bows so amazing? Because your hair bows, I don't know, are made out of fabric instead of ribbon. So you can make them to match anything that your child is wearing. Okay, I know I pulled that one out of my hat. Just go with me here, okay, guys? So with these fabric ribbons, because you realize that while studying the market, nobody is doing it. But yeah, it's a corner of the market that nobody is really reaching. So you're going to go and you're going to cash up, cash out, and sell on, okay? So now we're going to talk about your structure. The structure of your business is very important, and we're going to get into that in just a minute here, a little later down the road. Because I'm going to say this simply, your business structure actually tells the story of the back end of your business. So what type of business is this? Are you working this business by yourself? Do you have partners? Is this a not-for-profit business? Like whatever it is, your business structure tells the back end story. All right. Next, we have products or service, what I already talked about, knowing your product, knowing the services that you provide, and being able to say exactly what it is. Like me, I can tell you what I provide. I'm an agent of change that solicits encouragement and assistance with trying to get all people who either have a business or want to start the business, making sure that they have a very firm foundation on their business with all the legalities and other things they need to maintain and start their business. Now, for marketing. All right. So in marketing, you're going to have to, this kind of is twofold, because you're going to look at your marketing from the intern perspective of starting your business, building that notoriety in the community, and then the existing perspective of once you launch and then maintaining your business. So you have really like 3 prongs to marketing. You have notoriety building, you have launching, and then you have maintenance of your product or service, okay? Revenue. How many coins do you want to make? So this is where you project how much money can actually be made if the light was yellow. What does that mean? Is that we're not going to have perfect days at all times, and there are going to be some times where days are not as good as others. So you want to be somewhere in the middle where your projections aren't too high, where it's completely impossible to reach them. Remember, we talked about these SMART goals. So you want to make sure that it is achievable, okay? Next, we're going to talk about expenses. So expenses can be tricky because it depends on your business. Like me, I run an online business that helps to develop businesses for other people. My expenses are not going to be the same for someone who has a shoe boutique. Why is that? Because I don't have inventory. I'm selling intellectual property. I'm selling you my thoughts, my mind, my brain, my know-how. And because of that, my expenses are going to be totally different. So because of that, guys, I actually created a business expense form. That expense form is A1, the bomb, because these are things I did suffer with when I was starting my clothing line. Now, this expense form, it allows you to see break down every single thing that you need to run your business. And it also allows you to see how many products you're actually using this expense for, and how you can bake it into your cost to say, well, this is the cost, how much money is being poured into the product, so I can use that to offset how much I'm going to charge people. Okay. I usually go with the 55% markup. Unless it's like me, it's a service that you're providing, and then you got to think about like your labor costs and gas and all these other things.